So now we are going live, sir. So
Mahesh, one more thing will be there is the question and answers. So questions will be coming. So the questions will have to be taken and given. So either I will give or you can also pick up and then give the speech.
sir, we will be sharing the questions on WhatsApp, sir.
On WhatsApp. Okay, fine.
Is it fine, sir?
Yeah,
there is
fine.
no chat
Yes.
bubble.
Yes.
Okay.
Then also just a quick one. I mean, would we be getting to know how many people have attended, or what are the profile of the people that who have been attending the
Sir,
our session?
Here there are two type of participants, sir. One type of participants, they are viewing in YouTube. So we are also live streaming this event. So some of the participants, they are joining through YouTube, and some of the participants, they are joining through CI Hive platform. So right now, so far we have been getting minimum 150 plus participants in YouTube live.
Okay.
So CI Hive platform, we need to see.
Okay.
Minimum, yesterday we were getting 250, 200. So I can assure you minimum 150 plus participants are joining through YouTube live streaming. And for CI Hive, we need to see. But totally it will be 500 plus, sir.
Okay.
Okay, because more participants are joining through CI Hive platform.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me to just guide me for this background screen background.
Yes, sir. Sir, go to video icon. It is on the left bottom.
Yep.
Just click the arrow button and choose virtual background, sir.
So before that, you have to download the virtual, no? What is there available on your email?
Yeah. I've done that. I've done that actually.
You've done that then?
Yeah.
There's no audio? You're on mute. You're on mute, Dhanarasu.
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you, sir. First of all, warm welcome to the session 5 on innovative products and material for green buildings. So today we have two eminent industry stalwarts to chair this session on innovative products and material for green buildings. The first session chair, Mr. Ajit Kumar Chodia, Managing Director, Olympia Group. He has extensive business experience in automobile sector, renewable energy sector, as well as building sector. Being a developer, he always advocating for green building concepts in India, and he is also adopting green building concept in all their projects. He also holds various honorary positions in associations. To name a few, he is the chairman of CREDAI Legal and Litigation. He is the immediate past president of CREDAI Tamil Nadu. He is also co-chairman of Indian Green Building Council Chennai chapter. And for his immense contribution to green building sector, he is awarded with senior fellowship from Indian Green Building Council. Welcome to the session, sir. Next, we move on to the session chair, Mr. Mahesh Anand, President, Nippon Paint India Private Limited. Mr. Mahesh Anand is the President and Additional Director of Nippon Paint India Private Limited. With over 29 experience in paint industry, he has successfully established Nippon Paint as one of the India's leading paint brand, and he holds various honorary posts in the, various industry association and business association. To name a few, he is the president of IPA, Indian Paint Association. He is also the chairman of Paints and Coating Skills Council. We welcome to the session on innovative products and materials, sir. Without further delay, we hand it over to the session chair for their moderation, sir.
Thank you, Dhanarasu. Distinguished speakers, fellow members, and co-chair for this session, Mr. Mahesh Anand, President Nippon Paints. Ladies and gentlemen, hearty welcome to this virtual conference of IGBC. Today's session will be on innovative products and materials for green building. Innovation is defined by some scholars as carrying out of new combinations that includes the introduction of new goods, new methods of production, and opening of new markets. Some common elements in its definitions are the focus on newness and improvement. It is often viewed as taking place to the provision of more effective product, services, and technologies that innovators like our speakers make available to the market. IGBC is in its 20th year of service to the cause of sustainability. It has seen more than 6,000 projects being registered, having a footprint of nearly 7,600 million square feet of buildings and built environment. If this movement towards sustainability has to move forward, innovation in design and use of innovative products and technologies are essential. Going forward, it is conferences like this which gives wide recognition to the innovative products and help them reach the market. Our first speaker today is Mr. Devendra Pandey. He is the technical head of Ultratech Concrete, a pioneer in the field of ready-mix concrete with over 25 years of experience. He has been involved with disruptive research on new concrete applications. Quality management and sale of concrete products has also been his area of focus. He has authored more than 25 technical papers and has presented 3 in international conferences. He is a member of Bureau of Indian Standards. Mr. Pandey will be speaking on evolving concrete technology for enhanced human comfort. Welcome, Mr. Pandey.
Thank you, Mr. Ajit, for that hearty introduction and this opportunity. Thanks, IGBC, for this opportunity for presenting on this subject. I welcome all of you, all of our viewers, and in next 15 minutes, I'll take you through this subject of evolving concrete technology for enhanced human comfort. So, as we consider the subject, what are those elements of construction which can bring in comfort to the user as well as people who are constructing the buildings? And so we have basically in this slide, I've briefly mapped those elements. In construction stage, there is a need for making the construction easy, reducing the pollution. Also, noise is a problem which often the residents in the surrounding area of the construction site often face, so noise reduction. Later in the utility stage, hazard protection, safety, that is, and energy saving, improvement in hygienic environment, improved life of structure and reduction in maintenance and aesthetics, water preservation, and also in today's world, we are looking at a lot of automation of utilities and resources. So these are the various components which some of the concrete varieties which I'm going to cover are going to address. But to start with, let's look at ready-mix concrete itself as a technology. What you see on the top row is site mix concrete, the way it was manufactured traditionally, the way it was transported within the site, and then eventually it was laid into the structure. It was purely a very labor and man-driven process, very small use of mechanization, and hence led to a inconsistent quality, poor environment at site, and lot of pollution. Compared to that, what you see in the bottom row is the process which is used for the same activity in ready-mix concrete. The production is in a mechanized environment. Transportation as well as placement is done using machinery, and hence it improves the speed, improves the working conditions at site, and also brings in the consistency. So concrete production, like the way we do concrete at site, itself needs to change. It's been changing, and it needs a lot more change. And adaptation of ready-mix concrete is a absolutely sustainable technology. This is a brief comparison. Apart from bringing consistency, also ready-mix concrete brings the convenience. Instead of ordering multiple materials, storing multiple materials at site, directly concrete can be ordered. There is no need for storage at site at all. It's a single window availability and very environment friendly technology. This is just a broad view of the coverage of ready-mix concrete plants in the country. So we are no more scarcely available kind of technology. It's available throughout the country. Now, some of the concrete varieties which I'm now going to cover, and many of those are Green Pro certified and acknowledged as green products. I'll begin with something called an integrally water resistant concrete. Now, water seepage and dampness is a real problem. There are solutions available, but often due to workmanship issues and site conditions, some of those systems are prone to deteriorate quicker than the design period, and hence practically at sites there are problems, and also for users that means a lot of inconvenience and health related issues. For that, there is an emerging technology which is based on some polymers called crystalline polymers, in which concrete itself can be integrally made water resistant, and which can help overcome the challenges caused by the failure of the traditional waterproofing systems. So this is how this technology works. In this integrally waterproof concrete, the crystallization polymers are added within the concrete matrix itself at the time of making concrete. What happens is that in concrete there are micro-sized pores and cracks through which water penetrates. What these crystalline polymers do is they react with incoming water along with the calcium hydroxide present in the concrete matrix, and they end up forming some compounds, crystals, which end up blocking these pores. So eventually there is an effect in concrete which almost is like a self-healing effect. Of course, there are limitations to that. The cracks which are less than 0.4 mm are the only cracks which can be healed in this kind of a technology, but those are primarily the cracks which concern us when it comes to dampness, etc. Then there is a variety of concrete which is like a multi-featured concrete with enhanced durability. So what's the concept? Like, how can you increase the life of concrete substantially? What are the primary problems? The primary problems in concrete are cracking. If concrete cracks, also if it causes water penetration, as we saw in the previous variety of concrete. Also, every constructor wants to construct fast and easy. So how does durability of concrete get affected? Steel corrosion is one of the big culprits. If water ingresses, moisture ingresses into concrete, the steel gets corroded, and ultimately the structures fail earlier than the design period. Also, due to poor compaction at site, compaction is a labor-based activity. So ultimately this kind of concrete, which is poorly compacted and honeycombed, ultimately gets, um, you know, um, allows water penetration and affects the durability. What do you do? Mixed designs can be modified in order to ensure that concrete's life increases using supplementary cementitious materials, but also for crack prevention, materials like fibers are introduced in that concrete, and eventually you get a very durable concrete. Coming to another variety of concrete, I'm trying to give a broader picture without getting into too much details of these materials, but introducing these materials per se. So self-compacting concrete is a material which addresses three primary concerns, which are very pertinent to construction sites. One concern is compaction. How good is our compaction? Are we able to compact the concrete properly? If it is not compacted properly, then even 1 or 2% of extra voids in concrete will lead to major reduction in strength. Also, labor shortage. Labor fluctuation is a common phenomena that affects the project life period, and that brings us to the third concern, delays. Can we construct faster? So here is a concrete which flows on its own. It does not require laborers to spread it or compact it. Hence, this concrete can be also noise reduction at site. So you don't need to use vibrators. You can reduce on number of labor gangs required because this concrete is flowing on its own without segregating, and it achieves 100% compaction on its own. So this is self-compacting concrete. It has been used in a lot of wonderful projects in the country. It's getting very popular. One such example here is a person who wanted to imprint some mantras and some designs on the wall of his bungalow. And while casting this wall, he wanted to ensure that these imprints on concrete are crisp and clear. The solution to this problem was given by using self-compacting concrete, because this concrete could flow through the crevices and corners very smoothly, and this kind of surface finish was used. Some very significant projects like Mumbai Monorail, even Mumbai Metro, they are using this variety of concrete. Coming to another interesting type of concrete, and that is lightweight concrete. Now, lightweight concrete is basically a filler material. And so we use a lot of fillers at site. And these fillers are sand, sometimes foam sheets are used, broken bricks are used. The problem with these materials are those materials cause a lot of dust, and sand is not so easy to procure these days. It's not available. It's not environment friendly to get sand out of rivers. So this material becomes a very good alternative as a tile bedding, as any other filler in the building construction. And added to that, now this brings along with it two very distinct advantages. One, its density is half of the traditional materials. And number two, it is also thermal insulating. So it can be used in roof slabs and various other places. It is almost 10 times, its conductivity is 10 times lesser. So now I come to another variant of the same lightweight concrete, but that is especially for buildings. Now, how does fire impact the building? Fire spreads in the building through cable ducts, and building code requires for tall buildings to restrict this fire movement through the cable ducts from one floor to another floor by sealing these cable ducts at the floor level. So this is a vermiculite based concrete which is placed here, as you see, and it is blocking the, so in case, and this is a fire rated material, 2 hours fire rating has been certified for this material. So hence it can resist the fire for 2 hours while the fire department gets into action and gets the fire under control. Then coming to lastly, another variety of concrete, which is decorative variety of concrete. It addresses the need for aesthetics. For landscaping, this is a wonderful material. Our traditional materials are pavers and tiles and these things. But the problem with these materials is that eventually they very quickly, within a few years, there is undulation, there is a lot of inconvenience to the pedestrians, and this can be eliminated by imprinting the concrete at the stage of at the time of concreting itself, as you see here in the process, and it leaves
We are not able to hear you, Mr. Pandey.
Just Arasu, just check his connection.
Yes, sir. I'm checking it, sir.
I think at his end, there has been a problem.
Sir, there is some technical glitch, but he is joining again, sir.
Yeah, I think he is
Another
joining.
1 minute.
Yes.
sorry,
Yes, Mr. Pandey, you can continue, sir.
Okay, so let
You
me.
are a decorative concrete, sir.
Yeah, and I'm just putting my. Is my screen visible, sir? Can you?
Yes. It's visible.
Okay, so another extension of decorative concrete for landscape, there is this concrete which is called pervious concrete, which, as you see in this short video, it allows water to percolate. So when it is used in landscaping areas, it can recharge the groundwater, limit the accumulation of water during rainy season, and also it reduces the load on our drainage systems. So this is a very good landscaping material to be used along with stamped concrete. Another fancy version of a decorative material is glow in the dark. In our cities in future, we are going to discuss light pollution and things like that. Probably today we are only piloting this product, but in future, this can be a material with a lot of potential. Added to this decorative range, I also want to present a flooring material, which is very similar to this stamping process, but slightly changed to accommodate to the interior floors. And this ends up producing a very high quality of floors. The process is shown here. This is a 5-step process, but done right along with concrete, and it ends up producing floors like these. So these are concrete floors, not like jointed like typical tiles, but it is concrete, but it has the same kind of finish, much better dust resistance, much lesser joints, and similar aesthetic finish. In the long run, hygiene wise, because this is a dust proof floor, it ends up giving better sense of hygiene to these floors. So the last material which I'm just presenting here, this is ultra high performance concrete, used for aesthetics, used for thin panels. This concrete has strength as high as 150 MPa, which allows us to make cast it into very thin panels, and as a result reduce the dead load on these panels. And these panels are able to be now, because it's concrete, they are fireproof and they are lightweight and durable. So these are some of the concrete varieties which I had I plan to share today. I hope this was beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pandey. Thank you for taking us through the evolution of ready-mix concrete. Thereafter, introducing to the audience here the specialty concretes, more particularly of interest to the builders would be your concrete mixed with crystalline polymers, because most of us face serious challenge in the toilets, and the leakage which is there, the waterproofing, whatever we do, it's a serious challenge. I'm sure in the days to come, we will have more and more use of all the technologies which you have presented. I think one of the important thing is the awareness. So the awareness probably today in the builder fraternity is not very high about these products being available from you directly from the ready mix concrete supplier. If this product is available, I'm sure we all will be able to use this. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
I
sir.
request my co-chair, Mr. Mahesh Anand, to take over.
Thank you, Mr. Ajit, and thank you for putting up a very important topic, which is more relevant for today's need on this session of Green Pro, parallelly, which is happening on the 18th IGBC Congress. Before I start, I just want to congratulate the IGBC organizing committee for putting up a very grand show. And I could see that over the years this Congress, whether it is face to face, virtual, it's been a tremendous improvement and a tremendous progress which has been showing. So keep up the good work what you are doing, and definitely India as an India as a country should become the world leader in the green movement. We are number 2 or number 3 somewhere here, and with 7.5 billion square feet of green footprint, and our vision of getting into 10 billion or maybe 15-20 billion is going to happen in the coming years. So thanks for this opportunity, and let me take you through a bit of what is Green Pro. In fact, Green Pro is something which IGBC started about 4-5 years ago, and today we are having about 1,600 Green Pro green eco labeled products in India, and almost like 100 plus companies are offering that, and few of them are today as a distinguished speakers. We heard what Mr. Devendra Pandey was about to offer from their stable of Ultratech. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Now I have the second speaker who is from Visakha Industries, Mr. Srujan. Just give me a time. Just let me read out his credentials. Srujan is the General Manager, ATUM Solar Roof by Visakha Industries. He is an alumni of IIT Madras. His expertise lies in leveraging technological advancements to create business opportunities in the field of sustainability, enabling growth and profitability. He will be presenting about ATUM Solar Roof, which is world's first solar roof to be commercially deployed for over 5 lakh square feet, 500,000 square feet, in a span of 365 days. ATUM is a patented product of Visakha. ATUM has a motto to ensure that sustainability is made reliable and durable. So over to Mr. Srujan. Please carry on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anand. That was kind of you to introduce me. And it gives me immense pleasure to be amongst some of the stalwarts of the building materials industry. So let me just open my presentation. So today we are here talking about sustainability, and this makes much more sense today. And the future is about green, and having Green Pro certified products in the building materials is imperative. Considering the situation we are in today, everybody is going conscious about the environment, and innovation and innovative materials is the norm today. That's exactly what we are doing at Visakha. We are innovating for sustainability. That's our motto and vision. We have been introducing new products in the last 2 decades, and one of the major innovations that we brought is Atom. So I'll give you a brief introduction of Visakha and then jump into Atom quickly. So what you just saw was Atom Solar Roof and VNext Sustainability Building products, the line of products that we have in sustainability under VNext brand, cumulatively constructing a 50,000 square foot industry over there. So all of these products are Green Pro certified and have 30 times lesser footprint, carbon footprint in terms of carbon dioxide emissions when you compare with the conventional brick and mortar technology. So the major product that you have seen on the roof here is Atom. So what is Atom? Atom is basically a solar roof. It's not a solar panel. It is a solar panel, but it is a solar roof as well. So the conventional solar panels have some problems which we have identified are some problems which a roof needs to address. Specifically because having solar panels on the roof are investment for a lifetime. So our motto of introducing solar roof was to actually ensure that whatever drive everybody is going for towards sustainability is itself reliable and durable. So what if the sustainability drive is not very reliable? What if the investment that you're putting into sustainability or reducing the carbon footprint does not last long? That is the basic question we are addressing with the solar roof. So this is basically invented by Visakha Industries. It's the brainchild of our joint managing director, Mr. Vamshi. It has been innovated. R&D was done in Hyderabad. The entire product is manufactured in Hyderabad, and we are proudly vocal for local. And it's the world's first patented solar roof. There have been many solar roofs which were tried out in Europe and US, which didn't even come out of the laboratory. But this is the roof which has been commercially deployed for over 5 lakh square foot in just a span of 365 days after we got all the certifications in the last 1 year. What you're seeing here in this picture is our manufacturing unit. The entire roof is covered with Atom. We are a net zero. In fact, we are even surplus. We even export to the grid. And all the solar panels that we manufacture are manufactured using the power we generate on the roof. So Visakha Industries, we are a 35-year-old corporate listed on the stock exchange. We have 4 major divisions. We primarily started out into the affordable cement roofing. Then we, in the last 10 years, we have introduced cement fiber board based sustainable building materials. Ultratech is one of our suppliers where we buy the cement from. And as you have seen, a lot of versatile features the Ultratech cement has. We use cement and we use cellulose fiber, and we make cement fiber boards. We make cement fiber board based prefabricated building materials like wall panels, cladding material, all of these which go into industries, which go into residences, which go into commercial complexes. And it's very, very important to move towards sustainable building materials, reduce the carbon footprint by replacing all the brick and mortar technology that we've been using for the past few years. And that will reduce the carbon footprint of our building industry by over 30 times. And we are aggressively replacing the plywood. Plywood is one of the major components of any construction, which is having a huge carbon footprint in terms of deforestation, usage of water, and fiber cement boards are actively replacing plywood completely. In textiles also, we use a lot of recycled plastic. We have a specialty yarn. Atom is what I'm introducing now. Just a quick introduction to the materials that I was speaking about under the VNext brand. We have gypsum board, replacing the gypsum boards. We have cement fiber boards, and all the finishes that you require or that you aim for as an architect and your vision can be replaced completely with cement fiber board, which you have been doing with plywood previously. And we are proudly Green Pro certified. The entire product line is Green Pro certified. So be it an industry, be it internal walls, be it external walls, be it false ceiling, be it mezzanine flooring, we can come up with any kind of requirement that you have. We can come up with prefabricated materials which you can use for your partitions, fire and acoustic proofing. So these are the kind of variants that we have in terms of designer variants that you're looking for. And this actually has humongous properties in terms of resistance towards fire, resistance towards water, termite proofing, saves the time. So all that benefits that you come out of prefabricated materials are coming to you at a lesser price and much better carbon footprint. So the idea behind the solar roof is, so when we can construct the entire building using Green Pro certified materials, and the only alternative that we have for roof is now either a metal roof or a cement roof that is being used, and solar panels have become very affordable for every common man. And what has been happening in the past 10 years is mount conventional solar panels on the roof, which we found there are a lot of problems with. Specifically because the conventional solar panels are made for ground-mounted large-scale utility power plants where there is a lot of maintenance team involved. They do proper tightening every 7 to 10 days. They clean the panels easily on the ground. And these plants have to be maintained for 25 years. It's a lifetime. Now, when that is the case with roof, if you have industries where the roofs are not very accessible, when you have residences where the roofs have specific purposes, where the real estate on the roof can actually be utilized, you are covering with normal solar panels, and the normal solar panels do not have features of roof as well. They do not have fire resistance. They do not have hurricane proofing with them. They cannot take hail and snow loading. So we wanted to address all of this. And what we did was we created solar cement boards, and we combined the solar cells into the solar cement boards and made an integrated product that exactly what Atom is. So these are the problems with the conventional panels which have been surfacing over the last 10 years. You've seen a lot of news articles on how there have been incidents of cyclones, throwing away solar panels from the roof. There is physical damage. So what happens in Atom is, because it has a backing of cement fiber board, the solar cells, though they're very fragile, wafer thin actually, they once we embed them into cement fiber board, they become a composite solar roof. So it has all the properties of a roof, what you expect from a roof. It's Class A fire rated. It can withstand wind loads of 250 kmph. It's been rated for hail and snow. And none of these can be achieved with conventional panels and any other kind of normal roofing, any combination of normal roofs and normal solar panels. And we have all this certified by UL. All the testing was done in Frankfurt, Germany. Just to give the difference, this is a conventional way of mounting. You have metal sheets and solar panels mounted through clamping mechanisms. The problem here is the metal sheets in corrosive environments, or even in coastal regions, or even in general any kind of normal environment, especially in India, we have metal sheets corroding in 10 to 15 years, whereas the solar panels have to stay there for a lifetime. They have a warranted life of generation life of 25 years. They do generate after 25 years as well. But what about the roof? I mean, your roof will it be staying there for 25 years? That's the main question we are addressing here. And with Atom, what you have is you have all three components of a solar roof, solar panel combined into a roof itself. You have a cement board, you have the glass, you have the solar cells. It comes as an integrated panel. So the roof is itself sustainable for over a lifetime, because cement boards, they are inert. They do not really, interact with the chemical environment underneath in industries or any humid environments outside. And one of the space advantage that we really give, which is a very, very important feature for industries, is this walking space that you have to leave in terms of normal solar panels, because they cannot take walking loads. We don't have to do that with Atom, because Atom basically is designed for that. You can walk on Atom, you can clean Atom by walking on it. Whereas traditional solar panels, you have to give walkways and rails so that this may look very simple and small, but it's actually 40% higher efficiency of area utilization that we give. The simple equation is, in the traditional mode, you need 1 kilowatt, you'll be needing 120 square foot. And with Atom, we achieve that in around 70 square foot. That's the kind of advantage that we give. The concept was designed in 2017, and within 7 months, we have actually come up with the plant, and the production started, and we have BIS certification. What we are doing in the traditional residential and commercial segment is, it's of very huge importance for these two segments, because in the traditional mode of installation of normal solar panels, you're wasting the entire roof area, the way you're seeing on the left side. What we are doing with Atom is we are creating additional space. You lift the structure, you install the structure, the truss grid on it, and install Atom on it. The entire real estate of your roof is usable. And if you put a value to the real estate that you're generating, the kind of payback you have is 2 years or 2.5 years on the entire plant that you're investing in. Just to give an example, this is a 14-floor building. They have covered their entire roof with Atom. Now the entire real estate on the roof is usable. And the kind of area advantage that I'm speaking about, if this project was done with a normal conventional mode, they would have got only 98 kilowatt. With Atom, you can get 140 kilowatt. Now, what this means is 50,000 additional units every year. So that's the kind of additional advantage that we're giving. And it's a very, very versatile roof. You can combine it with any kind of normal roofing. You can combine it with ridge portions or the ventilation that you require, which generally is a norm in industries. So that's how we integrate these. Quickly, I'll run you through the Herculean products, product features, physical features that I'm talking about. You have 5 people walking on Atom on the left side, whereas on the right, we are comparing it with the conventional panels. And this is an electroluminance test, like an panels. This is Atom, which has no micro cracks or no cracking at all. The conventional panels break because the solar cells are wafer thin. And fire resistance, because of the cement backing that we have, you see the normal solar panels actually are completely burned, whereas Atom does not even catch fire. Forget about spreading fire. Similarly, this is a wind load test as per ASTM standards. It's called an airbag test. You have Atom and normal panels compared, and the entire middle portion of the normal panels usually break when there is huge Herculean wind loads. And this is Atom, which is not even affected. And any kind of physical damages, usually to the normal panels, the cell is broken, like you see here, whereas Atom has no effect on it. So this is what exactly we are addressing. Durability is important when you're actually investing in sustainability. It's also important that your investments stay long and you benefit, not just you, but even the environment benefit for a lifetime. And we are also UL certified, one of the very few products in the solar industry which is UL certified. We are proudly UL certified for all the features that I just showed. Lean Mastro Campbell Corporation also certified us for hails. We got the hurricane-proof tagging from them. They give a hurricane-proof tagline, and we got it from them. And this has BIS certification. So the best part here is we have ensured that your panel, the solar part of it, is exactly the same as a normal conventional panel. Be it the dimensions, the output, the electricity, the voltage, it's exactly same as a normal panel. So there is no confusion in terms of using the normal panel versus Atom. I'll just quickly, I think we're running out of time. I'll quickly run you through, the deployments that we have done. This is an educational institution, a 4th-floor building. They constructed Atom roof and utilized the area underneath for auditoriums on the 5th floor. Similarly, a food processing unit and similarly a printing press. This is a hospital. They raised the roof and constructed a nice isolation ward, which they are using now in COVID times. And this is a yoga center in a resort. Pharmaceutical companies using the roof area like this. NetMagic is world's largest data center in Mumbai. They have covered their roof. About 5 lakh square foot in different segments we have done. Also, the product is very versatile. We are doing affordable housing with all the materials as wall partitions with Visaka's products. Roof is Atom. So it's not just sustainable in terms of environment footprint, it's financially sustainable. The power that you generate will pay back for the entire house that we are creating. So this is Berkeley Innovation Portal, University of California, Berkeley, deploying this in Northeast, and we have made Atom carts so that street vendors can protect their items underneath. Also, the battery-powered LED lamps can be offset by solar-powered lights. This is done in Assam. You can just put all of these materials in a truck with 2 laborers. You can go and finish the construction in a day. And this is for Habitat for Humanity. We are in talks with California's division to export this to US. This is Mr. Sonam Wangchuk. He has used our products to create army quarters. It's an experimental thing that he has done on the roof. He has used Atom. You're very aware of this person as an innovator. And this is for South Central Railway off-grid ticketing counter. So it's very versatile. It's like a roof material. That's it about Atom. I can take any questions.
Thanks. Thank you, Srujan. In fact, it was very interesting. What really inspired us is basically your vision of innovating for sustainability, at the same time keeping the affordability component intact, we need to look at that also. Actually, maybe there might be some questions coming in. How much is the cost escalation between a conventional one and a atom? Maybe we can take that question later. Thank you so much for your. I think the listeners would have benefited out of this session. And now we move on to the third speaker of today, Mr. Sachin Gupte. Let me just read out his. 1 second. Arsu, there is some.
I'll take it up, Mahesh.
No, it's I've got it. Yeah. Mr. Sachin Gupte is going to take up a topic on green construction chemicals for enhanced life for the buildings. He's a mechanic engineer and an MBA marketing university ranker. I think I completed what you wanted to mention here. Thank you. With over 22 years of rich experience in the HVAC domain and having worked with major multinational companies in chilled water, VRF, BMS, and contracting, he is currently driving the HVAC vertical of Pidilite Industries. HVAC stands for heat, ventilation, air conditioning. As a head category management, MEP systems, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing solutions. He has introduced and successfully established unique problem-solving solutions in the knowledge-driven HVAC industry. An active member with ISHRE Mumbai, Mr. Gupta is also an IGBC AP and GEMCP and has worked closely with a strong passion, green buildings. Mr. Gupta is also invited to various prominent professional platforms and education institutions of repute as an industry and marketing expert. Over to you, Mr. Sachin, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. It was pretty energetic. Thank you very much. Thank you, IGBC. Thank you, CII. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be at this August gathering of knowledge sharing, energy-driven green fraternity. My name is Sachin Gupte. I head the MEP Solutions. And today I will be speaking on green protective coatings for thermal insulations. Now, we started with concrete, which was more external. Then, we came down slightly onto the building material perspective, which was more inwards. And now I'm coming more interiors with the problems, which are daily faced in and out by the MEP engineers, by the HVAC fraternity, everything. So the topic is green protective coatings for thermal insulation. So before we start, there are two aspects to it. One is the green protective coatings, and second is what we are talking about is thermal insulations. So typically just like to give a brief of what these thermal insulations, at what insulations are we talking about. So we are going to talk insulations which are especially related with our segments related with thermal or, let me put it with HVAC kind of thing. So there are typically three types of insulations that are available. One is first is the open cell, which comprises of rock wool and fiberglass, which are typically used for hot and cold insulation. Second is closed cell rigid insulations, the likes of PUF, XPS, EPS, and PIRs, which are typically, EPS is also called as thermocol. And the last is the market leaders, which have been pretty dominant now in the last few years, which are called as closed cell flexi insulations, which comprises of nitrile rubber and XLP. Now, closed cell rigid and closed cell flexi are dominantly used in the cold insulation segments. Now, typically when we say insulation, why and what are the things that are insulated? Typically, these are HVAC ducts and chilled water pipes and the VRV or the refrigerant pipes which are insulated. And as we all know, insulation is a major source of prevention of heat loss and heat gain in any application. A lot of design ample considerations are given before a particular insulation is selected and it's installed. But the basic question remains is, do we adequately protect the insulation? So it's like protecting the protector. What is the protector doing? Is protecting against the heat loss and the heat gain. And what a Pidilite range of products will offer will protect the basic insulation material. So if an insulated surface is not protected, what does it lead to? Or typically what happens with the insulation material? All insulation materials are subjected to weathering and mechanical damage. Weathering is a slightly grade above typically the local parlance, what we called as UV. It's much more than the UV resistance. So UV resistance is a part of weathering. So all the insulation materials are subjected to weathering and mechanical damage. In case we are not properly insulating or protecting the insulated surfaces, first and foremost, the basic problem comes down is the loss of insulation properties, which increases the running cost. The changeovers are costly, and there are very few times that in a running plant somebody gets a downtime to change the insulation material. The moment the insulation gets damaged, there's a surface condensation. This water starts percolating down. Imagine a very high-end hotel, a hospital, a hospitality segment, or even a healthcare facility. Something is going down, the patients are moving down, or the guests are moving down, and the water starts percolating, and it's a big sour taste. It leaves in the mouth. Currently, the major problem that people are facing is the threat of smoke generations. Most of the insulation materials do not catch fire or do not propagate fire, which is typically called as a flame spreads. The flame spreads are pretty low or near zero. The major problem is in case a flame comes in contact, there's a threat of smoke generation, which is a smoke developed kind of a thing. Now, that's the reason, another reason that you need to protect the insulated surfaces. When you're talking about indoor air qualities, yes, there's a problem of fungal growth, biological decay, mold growth, which also has been pretty common with the insulated surfaces. And last but not the least is, a lot of statutory compliances are coming, especially with NBC coming into the picture. Of course, green is already out there, and the fire safeties. Now, just to take you through the various types of insulation problems, typically what happens is, when we look at open cell, closed cell, or rigid cell, the common thing is that they have poor mechanical properties. The surfaces can be easily scraped. They are poor weather resistant. They need very strong vapor barriers, or there's a lingering threat of smoke generations. So these are the various kind of site photographs. If you look at it, the first is like open cell, second is a rigid cell insulation, and the last one is a closed cell flexi insulations. These are the typical problems in a nutshell. Now, this is what the actual live situations happen. Most of the places where you see that, the predominantly refrigerant piping, which are called as the VRV or the VRF pipings, here you see the kind of insulation rip-off that has happened. In case we have also seen a bird perching. Bird perching is pretty popular with the birds that, they like to go and clean their beaks. And this is an insulation peel-off, which is done with a fiberglass insulation materials. So the basic question comes is like, insulation industry has been in place as old as the HVAC industry is there. Aren't they protecting it? Or it's still like, we are coming something with radically different? No, yes, they do protect. There are types of protections that have over a period of time have evolved, have developed. So if you look at the external area applications, typically we look at the most popular or, which was done in the erstwhile old era was a sand cement plaster. Sand cement plaster over a period of time graduated into the aluminum cladding systems, which you find that, a lot of pipes are covered with aluminiums. For internal areas, most of the sites, when I say most of the sites, is as high as around 70% of the sites, they do not offer any or they do not come with protections. The second, which is more popular, is the METPET films or the AluPET films, which looks like a silvery finish, which is which is laminated on the insulation surfaces. And the latest one is, of course, they have the laminated glass cloths also. So 2 different types of areas and 5 different types of solutions. So we'll just take a quick through whether these are really effective or they are not. The first thing, if you look at it, is the aluminum cladding. Typically, if you look at aluminum cladding, there are multiple, the way it's being constructed, the construction itself is a bit complicated. You need to create different kind of profiles for aluminum claddings. So if you need to take a simple pipe, which is insulated with a fiberglass or with a rock wool or with any other kind of a material, just to create one elbow, there are 5 different types of profiles that needs to be created, which here you can see at the edges, the elbows. The problem is because of the wear and tear, because of the expansion and the contraction of the building, which is typically also driven by the weathering conditions, the metals also expand and contract. Gaps are created, water starts seeping in. Once the water seeps in, the insulation gets deteriorated and you have lost the insulation properties. Second problem is there's a lot of fungal growth or even a vegetation growth also that you can see on aluminum cladding. That's a problem number one. If you look at sand cement plaster, anyway, sand cement plaster is slightly started moving out, but it's difficult to create basically the way it's constructed over the pipes, the way it's constructed over the ducts. You're not getting enough skilled labor to do that. It makes the structures heavy. It increases the dead loads on the buildings, and hence it's not becoming very common or very popular nowadays. People have started moving away from it. Now, this is what, now from the external perspective, these two are mainly external. Now we come down to the internal applications. This is what you see whenever you enter an office for an ongoing building or an office that's been constructed. It could be an IT building, hospitals, any kind of a building. The black, what you see, this black color is material which is called as a nitrile rubber. Typically, you will find these kind of cracks. These cracks are because of the other agencies also that are working. Their tools and tackles start falling down. So the simple thing is if they start falling down, they just go and, put their screwdriver on the soft surface and the crack is developed. The moment a crack is developed, it loses its insulation property and this becomes a potential source of surface condensation. When we look at the pipes, these are the typical photographs what you'll see in a plant room. Most of the times, we feel once we get into the building that, oh yes, we are finding it cool, the building is green, everything. But these are the problems which really go unattended, because it is somewhere hidden. You'll never come to see unless and until there's a major problem. And here, these are the photographs. Over a period of time, people have started offering the insulation manufacturers with either a MET pet or a alupet kind of a films. These are nothing but a silver kind of a finishes that you see. But these surfaces or these laminated surfaces have seen a mold growth. These are live site photographs from pharmaceutical companies where, we were there and people just say that, no, mold growth is common and all those kind of things. And they just try and do water washing, but which is not the correct way to maintain an indoor air quality. There is a possibility of the METPET and the alupet foils also getting damaged or punctured. These are the critical kind of things where people have coated this with the glass cloths, and here you see the glass cloth has ripped off. You see the elephant skinning like surface that has happened, which is the initial kind of stage of the surface is getting deteriorated. And this is typically happens when the entire thing gets ripped off. Imagine a large site, running site, you can't take shutdowns, and it's like a double-edged sword. You're not able to change the insulation, energy loss. If you have to take a shutdown, that's a production loss. It's an immediate revenue loss.
Mr. Sachin, you have another 7 minutes more.
Yeah, sure. So depending upon the area of applications, we have two different types of things. For external areas, we have weather protect coat, and for internal areas, we have lac coating. So basically, both the products are coatings. These are brushable coatings. These are industrial grade thixotropic paste, which are used along with the glass cloth, which acts as a mechanical reinforcements. Now, why weather protect? Yes, it's chemically resistant, so you can use in any kind of an applications, be it chemical industries, pharmaceutical industries, tested to 20 plus different kind of chemicals. Fire, it has almost around 4 to 5 different kind of fire certifications. It does not promote any biological decay, no hydro attacks, and it is weathering resistant. Plus, faster completion, zero wastage, easy repair, and ideal for mounting and accessories. These are the live site photographs which I'd like to take you through. This is one of our sites at Pfizer, Chennai. These are hotels, Hotel Sheraton in Cochin, and this is a IIT Madras site, where you see the ducts are insulated and they are coated with a product called as Weather Protect. Here, the cooling towers are immediately next to the ducts, so even if there's a constant seepage of water or a constant splashing of water, the integrity of the coating will remain as it is for long. These are some of the sites where it was done with aluminum or METPET films. Later on, we changed it and look at the finish, the longevity. This has really come up nice. Some pharmaceutical installations that we already have. And this is what it is. This was an existing site where the pipe was in a very dire situation. I mean, the dire state. And after that, we just converted into a weather protect, and that's it. The work is done. So a weather protect can be used to protect any type of insulation in any end use application, in any condition, howsoever worse, and in any industry. We come down to internal insulations. For internal applications, we have a product called as Fevicol lac coating. It's basically a fire retardant material, antifungal for great high indoor air quality projects. It offers a great mechanical protection. It enhances the vapor barrier. It has an ultra low VOC. The low VOC levels are less than 5 grams per liter, faster completion. And the most important thing is it complies to NBC 2017, chapter 7.27 on the thermal insulation, 7.2, 7.1 on providing vapor seal, and 7.2, 7.2 on providing fire properties. Now, these are the basic compliances of NBC, what it does. It's basically a UL certified product, conforms to ASTM E84, conforms to ASTM D4804. Now, these are some of the sites which we have done. The largest, or let me tell you, the most greenest airport that we have is the Cochin International Airport. All the air conditioning ducts are coated with lac coating. Basically, it has offered them a fire protection. It has offered them a fire resistance to the entire ducts. It has given a vapor barrier, additional vapor barrier. It has enhanced the life of the system. There's an application video, in case the time permits, I'll take you through. Then we have a lac coating which we have done on the ATC towers, Delhi ATC towers. Now these are the chilled water pipes and the valves, and here you can see the entire valves and the pipes are coated with lac coating. And here you can see the plant rooms. It's so the finishes and all those things has beautifully come up. So this has actually replaced the aluminum claddings with a brushable, paintable systems. Do we have time?
Yeah, we do have about 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I think I can run the video, which can give a, yeah. That's how coating is applied. There's basically a fire resistant coating, especially if you're going to have IT parks, warehouses, hospitals, anywhere which come under the purview of NBC, or you want to enhance your fire properties. Lac coating becomes an application. The last slide is the key takeaway. Thermal insulation needs protections to work efficiently. Currently used thermal insulation protections have shortcomings and are ineffective in the long run. Coatings are ideal for protection because of the ease of application, the technical pedigree it offers. It complies fully to the statutory norms and especially fire. And last but not the least, they are definitely completely green. Thank you.
Thanks, Sachin. I think it was wonderful, very informative. In fact, you have addressed a very relevant problem. I mean, all the three speakers addressed a very relevant problem which we are facing. I mean, everybody is facing as far as the building is concerned, and innovative, but at the same time, it also more relevant for the problem statement what everybody is having it. Thank you so much. So for all the three speakers for having taken time and delivered their presentations. Now we have some questions. Let me address the questions to the specific speaker as it comes in.
I'll take up for Devendra Pandey. We have 2 questions. So this is from the audience. We have received a question. So Mr. Pandey, the question is, what would be the reduction in cooling load when we use lightweight concrete? And the second question is, what are the other applications of lightweight concrete and pervious concrete?
Okay, so well, regarding the degree of cooling, we have conducted experiments where with a 3-inch layer of this material on the roof, there is a reduction of about 5 to 7 degrees Celsius in the room temperature. That is, but then that is specific environment which we have tested it in. So for the particular, I think based on the environmental temperature, this value will change. So it would need to be experimented in that particular scenario. Secondly, the question regarding the application of lightweight concrete and pervious concrete. Primarily, lightweight concrete is used a lot in sunken slabs as a tile bedding material. Then there are these carpet application in large commercial facilities. Normally, the floor needs to be just handed over to the customer, where final flooring layer is done by the customer. So a lot of times builders have started using this material as the final finished layer, and then they hand it over to the customer. Normally it is used in 3 to 4 inches. About pervious concrete, primary applications would be gardens, parks, driveways, walkways, primarily the landscaping areas.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Mahesh.
Yeah, well, I have 3 questions to Srujan and 1 question to Mr. Sachin. So first, I'm addressing these questions to Srujan. These questions, of course, have come from the audience. Question number 1, what is the deterioration rate in power generation after 10 years and after 25 years? That's the first question. Second is the performance deterioration linear? That's the second question. Third is, what is the impact on building structure? These are 3 questions for Srujan. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Anand. So in terms of deterioration in power generation, it is the same as the normal solar panels. There is about a 0.7 to 1% deterioration every year. And the warranties that any solar panel gives, that's exactly what we are giving, also mandated by the ministry, that at the end of 25th year, you have a minimum of 80% generation from the solar panels. So linearly, it deteriorates. It's not exactly linear, but not even too non-linear. So it's somewhere between that. But still, in 25 years, you will end up having 80% generation at the end of 25th year. Every year, there will be about 0.7 to 1% deterioration in the generation. That's in terms of the loss of generation. So that's the same as any other solar panel, because we are not changing the technology of solar. We are using the polycrystalline cells, which is the norm today. Around 99% of the cells that are used in solar panels is polycrystalline, using the same cell. But what we did is, innovate in terms of how a roof can be done using the solar cells. So in terms of efficiency, in terms of degradation, even in terms of thermal degradation, so solar panels degrade every day with higher temperatures that are generated in the peak generation in the afternoon. But the best part with Atom, which a lot of other BIPV, that is building integrated photovoltaics, couldn't achieve, is that having the same efficiency as a normal panel. Because the cement fiber board has a breathable property and it removes the heat, we have achieved similar efficiency with the normal panel. And so that is the main reason why we are commercially successful and why other BIPV products couldn't actually make out of the laboratory. And also, I would like to answer Mr. Anand's question on cost. It is the same as using a normal solar panel plus roof. If you have a roof, metal roof or any roof, and you mount solar panel on it, it's the same. So we ensured that cost is addressed, because it's also important for innovation to become sustainable, not just environmentally, but also financially. Secondly, the question on structural stability. So the dead loads are exactly the same as what you would do when you have a metal sheet and solar panel. So in terms of weight also, it is the same when it's a little higher, but it does not really change the structural stability of the entire building. You just have to reinforce a little bit. And that's the reason why the structural cost is also within the same normal panels on your roof the cost of the panel is also same when you have comparison with the normal panels. So that's the reason for the commercial success of this product in 1 year that we have deployed it.
Thank you, Srujan. And my two questions I have for Mr. Sachin.
Yes,
Question number one is, what is the optimum insulation thickness of rock wool, EPS, PIR, XLPE in HVAC application? That is the first question. Second is, what would be the impact on health and well-being when we use rock wool and fiber wool? These are the two questions we have from the audience.
Okay. Now, the questions are more related with the insulation. Now, the insulation thickness or the type of the insulation will depend upon what is the heat gradient that we are actually looking at. It all depends upon what surfaces is, whether it's a pipe, whether it's a duct, what is the kind of a fluid it's carrying, what are the ambient temperatures we are looking at, is these insulation surfaces are in open or whether they are in attics. So there are multiple things which come down. So you can't really generalize, or you can't have a rule of thumb that for this kind of a application, that's the kind of a thickness of the insulation that you need to go. It has to be properly worked out. It has to be properly designed. But the rationale out here is that whatever type of insulation material you need to go, you need to coat it. So, so that, it increases the life, it enhances the thermal insulation properties. Sir, may I request you to repeat the second question? Yeah.
What is the impact on health and well-being when we use rock wool stroke fiber wool?
Okay. So typically, if you look at fiberglass or rock wool, these are typically used in industries. They are typically used for external applications or high temperature applications. Whenever we are talking about commercial buildings, be it hospitals, hotels, schools, IT parks, the predominantly what is used is nitrile rubber, XLP, PIR to that matter. And yes, of course, if you're looking at airports and even some large installations, fiberglass is used. All these products are typically very safe from a user perspective. Fiberglass does not have formaldehyde. They have variants without formaldehyde, so you can use that. Nitrile, XLP and PIR have been pretty stable. But again, coming back to it, whether you use any of those insulation material, you have to do a coating. So even if there's an issue while post-application or any probable emissions, these emissions can precisely get suppressed and will ensure that it does not mix with the indoor air quality. So if your indoor air quality is a kind of major concern, go with coatings.
Yeah, thank you. That would have been the major concern for them, because when we're talking about more of IAQ, I think that would have been a concern from the listeners. So thank you so much. I think that brings an end to this session. And for all the speakers, for your valuable time and insights, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Ajit, for this wonderful session. And we look forward for much more interactions in going forward in GreenPro products and innovations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ajit. Thank you, Mr. Anand. And thank you, Dhanarasu. You three have pulled up this thing really very nice, very energetic, very high live wire session chairs we had.
Yes, sir, because of the session chairs.
And with Srujan and with Mr. Pandey, I mean, typically it was something very new for me, especially in terms of the concretes. And Srujan, I mean, very nice product what you have.
Thank you.
Surely we'll connect.
Thank you very much. Thank you also. Thank you, Mr. Anand. Thank you, Mr. Devendra. It's an honor to be in this panel with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All of you, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you.
You too.
So we thank the session chair for their wonderful moderations, for joining us at session 5. And we also thank the speakers for sharing their experience as well as knowledge about the green protective coating, integrated solar, and the evolving new concrete technologies. And with this, we formally close this session. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. There
is an announcement. So we are also exhibiting more than 150 green products and services and building related on CII Hive platform. We request all the participants to go to the exhibition section and physically go visit the stalls and experience the products displayed at virtual platform. And if you can also connect with stall representatives through video call, that facility is available. This platform is an interactive platform. You can chat with them. You can also connect through video call or you can also send them SMS to them so that you can schedule a business meeting later also. We request all the participants to go to CI Hive platform to visit all the exhibitors, and we also thank our supporters, Brookfield Properties, Godrej, Hindware, Geo, Saint Cobain, Johnson Controls, Carrier, and Bank of Baroda, Jabrit, INI Design Studio, Nalco Water, SNS Green Projects, Nippon Paint, Aquatron, Panashi, Berry Group, PEZ Greening India, Ramco Industries, Savvy Greens, SSA Architects, VKE Environmental for their support. And also we are thanking our supporting partners, World Green Building Council, other Green Building Council from the world, for example, Green Building Council Brazil, Hong Kong Green Building Council, Green Building Council Indonesia, Malaysian Green Building Council, and Philippine Green Building Council. We also thank our supporting organizations, Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, IRSDC, CREDAI, FSA, GSES, and IPA, NAREDCO, ISOLA, ISTRE, ISLA, Infra, IPSC, and IID, and Prem Jain Memorial Trust. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
The world is at the beginning of a digital revolution. Life is going digital. In the journey of time, there come a few life-changing movements. Geo is one such movement. Geo is a solemn commitment to enrich the life of every Indian. Geo's mission is to meet this exploding need for India and to enable digital life for a digital India. Geo is an entire ecosystem that will allow Indians to live digital life to the fullest. A future where every Indian can say without hesitation that with Geo, life is digital and life is beautiful.
Most of us have felt what it's like to work from home. Well, at Johnson Controls, we've been working away in the background to completely change how we all view the workplace when we get back, making it a safer, more secure, and healthier place to be. You might say we're getting us back, looking forward. Lots has changed, and it might feel a bit like stepping into the future right now. Like this is now a touchless building. We use massive amounts of data from inside the building and beyond to make it smarter, more efficient, and it will make working here better, healthier, more comfortable and secure. It's a safer space with clean air, a comprehensive ventilation, filtration and air treatment solution. There's highly accurate contactless skin temperature scanning and computerized building-wide social distance monitoring with automated contact records if someone comes down with a bug. You can even find a bit of quiet workspace, call the elevator from your device, or book a hot desk online. And that's just for starters. Our philosophy can be summed up in 3 words: re-enter, reoccupy, reimagine. We call this transformation. OpenBlue Workplace. It's all about getting us back, looking forward. See all the many ways you can look forward to getting back at OpenBlue here.
Home. A fundamental need since the dawn of humankind. A universal aspiration shaped by specific needs, depending on where we live on the planet. A harmonious interplay of material and emotional components, personal and shared experiences. Infinitely small individual homes and our infinitely vast shared home, the planet. A challenge that's never been more essential for society, to reconcile performance and comfort while preserving resources. As historical market leaders, we now have the responsibility and the power to better inhabit the world, making. For more than 350 years, we are manufacturers and distributors. We design materials and solutions that have a tangible, positive impact on people's lives, including the way they work, take care of themselves, and travel. The world. We are a worldwide, multi-local organization with a global ambition to protect our planet and invent a more sustainable future. A better, dedicated with continuously improving and innovating. Our teams work hand in hand with our partners to imagine solutions that enhance people's individual quality of life and address the social, societal, and environmental challenges facing the planet. We care about our employees, our customers, and our communities. Home. We build places that spark dreams and aspirations. And we work every day to make the world a more beautiful and more sustainable home for us all to live in. Making the world a better home. That's our purpose.